Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to go ahead and share a free training that I put together for you guys. This is literally going to be the only training that you guys will ever need in order to start a social media marketing agency. No more $9.97 courses, no more $25 courses, no more $97 courses. Trust me guys, what I'm going to share with you guys today, I have paid money to learn. Like I literally have, I bought like $97 courses, $25 courses, $997 courses, a $2,000 course. And I'm gonna share with you guys what I think is like the 7 simple steps on how you guys can go ahead and start a social media marketing agency in 2021 from scratch. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed for some odd reason, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and give this video a like. Go ahead and comment down below. What is your biggest question when it comes to social media marketing? Is it how to get clients? Is it, how to do cold email? Is it, being able to deliver the service? All of these questions matter. I'm going to be creating videos on all of those questions that you guys have. So make sure you guys are commenting down below any question that comes into your mind. So other than that, let's go ahead and get this video started. So how to start a social media marketing agency step by step. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and cover today is 1, what is SMMA? You have to understand the business model. 2, what services to offer. 3, picking a profitable niche. 4, what to charge your clients. 5, how to find ideal prospects. 6, how to sell your services. And 7, servicing your clients. Guys, make sure you guys are taking notes in this PowerPoint. Make sure you guys are taking notes in this training because you guys are going to learn a lot. I'm going to go over everything that I think is important for you guys. In every single one of these little modules is going to go more in depth about it. For example, in what services to offer, I'm going to give you guys some services that you guys can go ahead and offer. Which one, in my opinion, is the best one. When it comes to, picking a profitable niche, I'm going to share what niches to go ahead and go after, in my opinion. And I'm going to show you guys the niche that I'm in. Number 4 is going to be, how to charge your clients. I'm going to give you guys some real valuable information in all of these topics so you guys can go ahead and be educated and what step to actually take in order to be successful with your SMMA. So what even is SMMA? Guys, I'm pretty sure you guys already know this, but SMMA is social media marketing agency. Is that simple. But when this whole thing came out, it was literally about just social media marketing. It was just about, delivering services through social media, and that was pretty much it. But now the times have evolved, right? It's been 4 to 5 years since this business model has been out. I think it came out in 2016 with Ty Lopez. With them, he is the one that kind of created the SMMA business model. But when he created it, it was more about, an all-around digital marketing agency where you deliver social media marketing services with content services, paid advertising, SEO, and all of that crazy nonsense. I actually bought that course when I first got started, and that's how I got started in this business model. It was more about, about everything, delivering every services to everybody in the world. It was not about what it is right now, which has changed tremendously. Now, social media marketing agency now is just a digital agency. That is what that means. Social media marketing is not it's just not about social media marketing, because you can start an SMMA but be a web developer. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about. Don't really narrow yourself down to just delivering services on social media. Yes, you can still do that, but you can also start any other type of agency. Just because it's called SMMA, don't limit yourself to just social media marketing, like social media. You can go ahead and start a digital agency, which is pretty much the same thing as an SMMA. It's absolutely the same thing. It's just obviously a more updated way of the traditional agency, which we're going to go ahead and talk about right now. Now, a digital agency against a traditional, right, quote unquote agency. A digital agency, literally your world is your office. Like that's absolutely, your world is your office. You guys offer only maybe 1 to 2 services max. You don't want to go ahead and offer too many services for your clients because you're going to be spread too thin. When I first got started, I was offering absolutely everything for my clients. I was offering Google SEO, website creation, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Snapchat ads, TikTok ads. TikTok wasn't even around at that time. But I was offering absolutely everything. But I didn't know how to deliver on absolutely nothing on that. So I had to get contracted for every single service, and I was just spreading myself way too thin. So you want to make sure you're offering 1 to 2 services max so you can keep a small team, usually between 1 to 2 team members. Now, one media buyer or one contractor or team member, like I like to call it, can easily manage anywhere from 5 to 7 or 8 clients. So if they have anywhere from 5 to 7, 8 clients, one person can manage that. when I see that you want to go ahead, the moment that you want to go ahead and bring on another media buyer, it's because now you have an extra 5 to 7 or 8 clients, right? That's kind of how this works. The more clients you get one more person, and you teach them how, how to, they should already know how to run the ads, but you want to go ahead and teach them and help them out a little bit on your method of running the ads. And another team member that you can go ahead and bring on board is some virtual assistant that will actually help you doing the outreach, or help you doing the cold emails that we're actually going to go ahead and talk about today as well. Now, the good thing about digital agency is that you get to keep around 80 to 90% profit. Really, you literally can get to 90% profit. You can keep 100% profit if you're running, if it's you by yourself, you can get absolutely all of the profit for yourself. But now I do recommend you guys bringing up a media buyer on board as soon as possible, so you can keep up to 90% profit. Now you want to make sure you guys are paying your media buyers well, because then they're not going to stay with you. So I like to pay my media buyers anywhere from 40 to 30% of what my client is actually worth. So if I'm getting a $1,000 client, which I don't, my media buyer will get minimum of 30% of that, which is $300. Usually the clients that I take on are $1,000 or $2,000, so I pay my media buyer a minimum of $600. Obviously the ones that have, they've been with me for a really long time, then I like to pay them a little bit more because they've been loyal to me, right? They've been working with me for a long time. I want to make sure I compensate them well so they keep staying with me even longer, right? Media buyers are super, super important for your business. Now, comparing this to a traditional agency, right? Traditional agency has a huge office, which I low-key aspire to have. I low-key aspire to have a huge office with some marvelous windows that I can see the whole city. Like, I low-key want that sometimes. I'm like, you know what? It would be so amazing to have a huge office, being able to hire, my family members, which I probably wouldn't do it because I wouldn't be a boss. I would be just a friend, and you never want to do that. You want to make sure you're always being the leader of your agency. I'll go ahead and create a whole nother video about that. But I want that sometimes. I want that huge agency, right? I want that huge office. That's something that I aspire to have sometimes, but it's really nice to have the world as your office as well. Now, a traditional agency offers multiple services. They offer the Google Ads, Google SEO, content creation, all of this crazy nonsense. Why? Because they have multiple employees. But because of this, because of the fancy office, because of the multiple services, because of the multiple employees, they only keep around 20% profit. If so, there's so many agencies out there that keep less than 20% profit, keep like 3% profit at most. So I'm being generous when saying 20% actually goes to the business owner, because they have so many employees, they have so many services, they have so many expenses and overhead that it just doesn't make sense. We want to make sure that our agency stays lean and it stays effective by picking one service, having 1 or 2 media buyers, having one media buyer, and keeping around 90 to 80% profit in your business. Now, I'm going to go off topic real quick and let you guys know a little bit, okay, what's the difference between a digital agency and actually a freelancer? A digital agency is when you actually have a media buyer, right? Pretty much, I'm going to be simple. When you actually have a media buyer, you're actually building a team. You're the top person, you're the top of the agency, and then you have 1 team member, you have 2 team members, or 3 team members. Now you're an agency, you're a small team. When you're a freelancer, you're doing all the work. Now, you can be a freelancer and handle, 3 to 5 clients at most, but you do not want to go ahead and stop doing your outreach. When it comes to, running the show on your own, you want to make sure you continue doing the outreach. I made this mistake multiple times. I would get 3 to 5 clients. I would stop doing outreach, focus on my clients. But then when those clients left, I would start doing outreach again, but then I'm back at 1 client. So it was like a cycle that was stuck in. You don't want to go ahead and be in that cycle. You want to make sure that you're actually having a system in place to do the outreach while you're delivering the service, or just hire somebody to deliver the service while you focus on the outreach, which is what I recommend you guys to do. Now, step 2 is what services can you actually offer in your SMMA? Guys, there's so many services that you can go ahead and offer. SMMA is just not about social media. Like I told you guys, it's about multiple different services that you can go ahead and offer. So let's go ahead and get some. So one service that you can offer in SMMA is obviously social media management. You want to go ahead and manage other people's Instagram, manage other people's Facebook, manage other people's YouTube accounts, right? That is kind of like your social media management type of thing. type of service that you can go ahead and offer. The second one is really paid advertising. That's what my agency really focuses on the most. Paid advertising is one of the best services that you can go ahead and offer because it's so valuable to your clients. That's how they're really going to go ahead and get clients every single month after month after month, especially if you're working with e-commerce. Paid advertising is super important for their business. Now, email marketing. Email marketing is another service that's extremely important, especially if you're working with, education companies, or you're working with e-commerce, or just any type of industry in general really could benefit from email marketing, so we can start getting those repeat customers coming back. If they're, for example, if they're a real estate agent, you want to make sure you're building them an email list of clients who are ready to buy a house in the upcoming months as well. Now, service number 4 is really becoming a web developer. If you love to create websites, if you have that if you have that vision of creating a website and all of that good stuff, you can start a web developing agency where you help businesses go ahead and develop their agency and actually run their you help businesses develop their website and actually help them run their website effectively at all times. Now, another good service is SEO. We know how important SEO is, search engine optimization. SEO is one of the most important business models, especially for local businesses. For local businesses, SEO is extremely important. The reason why is because when our client is searching for example, dentists near me, they want to make sure that they are appearing all the way at the top. Now, another service that not a lot of people talk about is really sales funnels. Sales funnels are one of the most important services that you can offer, especially for info product businesses and e-commerce as well. Why? Because they need sales funnels, and you want to make sure, most of the sales funnels out there are really ugly and outdated. If you know how to create well-developed, well-made sales funnels, you could go ahead and offer sales funnels for businesses, and you will start making a lot of money because you can charge $5,000, $10,000 per sales funnel. Now guys, when it comes to really picking a service, you want to go ahead and pick one, maybe two. I would just say no, don't even pick two. Pick just one service that you want to go ahead and offer. Now, you can combine a few of these. Like you can combine paid advertising, email marketing, you can combine social media management and paid advertising, but you don't want to go ahead and combine, for example, paid advertising and SEO, right? It just doesn't go hand in hand well together. You want to make sure if you are picking two services, pick one that actually works well together so you can maximize your clients' results. Like you may want to go ahead and run ads and follow up with your clients, with your clients' through email. That is a perfect way to go ahead and actually do it. I've done it in the past. I still do it right now, where if I'm going to go ahead and run ads, I like to create some email sequences in the back end for my client that actually helps them turn more visitors into customers, and at the end of the day they're more profitable, so my client's more profitable, and they're happy, so we're happy, and we maintain a really good relationship. Now, if you guys are just starting out, just pick one service will be just good enough for you as well. So 3, what industry and niche can you pick, right? So before I share with you guys what niches you can go ahead and pick, and there's so many, right? The reason why you want to go ahead and pick a niche is because you want to be a specialist. You want to go ahead and specialize in one service and in one industry. So when that industry, when your ideal client is searching for a solution, you are a no-brainer. A specialist will always make more money than a general person, right? A general surgeon makes less money than a specialist surgeon. It's just the way it is, right? Specialists will always make more money, and you can charge more if you specialize in one service and in one industry. It's so much more powerful. Think about it. If you're a dentist and you have 2 marketing agencies, one of them says, I help businesses go ahead and get more revenue with Facebook, Google, YouTube, SEO, and all of these services. And then you have one other person that says, no, I help dentists go ahead and increase revenue with Facebook ads. Which one would you go ahead and pick? I know which one I would pick. I would pick the specialist, because he specializes only on working with people like me and have one service that they go ahead and deliver on, not 20 million services, okay? So that's why it's so important to have one service and one niche. So here are the niches that you can go ahead and actually pick. Now, you can go ahead and work with real estate agents, right? Real estate agents, I started with real estate agents back in my time. Like now, I wasn't niche down, but my first client ever was a real estate agent. And I know a lot of people have started with real estate agents, right? Accountants. I also worked with an accounting firm in the past as well. They're really good clients to work for. Plastic surgeons. This was my niche. This was my first niche. When I niched down to plastic surgeons. And the reason why is because they have a high customer value, And they can always need more leads and more sales, right? So I'll pay plastic surgeons that did really, really well with plastic surgeons before I make the transition to e-commerce stores. Now, dentists and orthodontists. Dentists, you want to make sure if you can niche down within the dentist industry, that's even better. So that's why I put orthodontists. Orthodontists is a perfect niche for SMMA because there's not a lot of people are going after orthodontists. If you can become the orthodontist Facebook ads specialist, you will be in a very, very good place. E-commerce stores. Now, when it comes to e-commerce store, you have to sub-niche even more. This is why I'm finding out after a year being in e-commerce. It's so much more powerful when you tell a client, say, hey, I help fitness brands go ahead and grow their revenue using Facebook ads rather than I help e-commerce stores help grow their revenue with Facebook ads. You know what I mean? If you sub-niche, you'll be able to specialize even more in e-commerce. Now, gyms and personal trainers. I also work with gyms and I'll work with 2 personal trainers in my past. And we got really, really good leads for both of them, but they weren't just following up with the leads. They weren't actually calling the leads. So I decided to step away from the gym and in personal trainer industry. Now, if you guys actually love gyms, if you actually love working out, if you have a passion for that, go ahead and start working with fitness brands. Go ahead and work with gyms, work with personal trainers, help them achieve a result that they are willing to pay for. Literally, this is what it's all about. Now, ask yourself these 3 questions when it comes to picking a niche. Ask yourself, okay, what are you interested in? Did you want to become a plastic surgeon when you were little? That's what I wanted to become when I was younger. I wanted to become a plastic surgeon. So I'm like, you know what? I have an interest in that field. Let me go ahead and work with plastic surgeons. Ask yourself, hey, what did you want to become when you were younger? Did you want to become a lawyer? Work with lawyers. If you wanted to become a real estate agent, work with real estate agents. You see where I'm going with this. Find what you wanted to do, where you want to do. Well, if you're starting a marketing agency, I'm pretty sure you don't want to do that anymore, but you know what I mean. Find what you wanted to do and pick that niche because you have a genuine interest in that person, in that field, and that's going to make you work 10 times harder in that field. And then you can also understand, like, right, what industry do you know well? You can also understand that industry. If you are working with, if you have been a real estate or you worked with real estate agents in the past, you understand the industry and you have an interest in it. That's perfect. That is a perfect niche for you. And now, and one last question you want to go ahead and ask yourself is, hey, do they actually need your service? If they don't need your service, then it's going to be really hard for you to sell them your services. But if they need your services, this is the perfect opportunity to go ahead and actually sell them your service. If you're interested in that field and you know the industry well and they need your service, you have found your perfect niche. Okay, so step number 4, what to actually charge your clients, right? So there's different methods on how to charge your clients. You can charge retainers, return on ad spend, cost per lead, cost per appointment, right? You can go ahead and charge your clients different methods, right? The one I would start out with, just in general, it would be the retainer model right up front. Why? Because you're just starting out. You need to get your first clients in. After you get your clients, then you can look at other retainer or other pricing models, but just stick with retainers just for now. Charge a monthly flat fee and keep it simple, okay? Now, remember this, if you're not sold on your value, they won't be either. You have to understand that if you yourself are not sold on your value, they're not going to be either. You can always adjust your pricing. Each time a client says yes to your rate, you've established a new market value for your services. So if you go for $1,000 for your first client, they say yes, push a little bit more for $1,500. If they say yes, keep pushing until you start feeling resistance, because value, the only time you're gonna have a price objection is when value does not exceed price. When value exceeds price, you're never gonna have a price objection. Okay, another question that you want to go ahead and ask yourself is, okay, what do you actually bring your clients? Time or money? Do you bring them time, like time freedom? Do you actually help them free up their time? That's extremely valuable for your clients. Or do you actually bring them more money? If you bring them money, then you can go ahead and say, hey, I charge you $3,000 and you got back $30,000. That is a perfect return on ad spend, and your client will be extremely happy. So really understand what you actually bring your client. Are you helping them save time, or are you getting them more money? Because both of them are currency, especially to a busy business owner. To really determine how much to actually charge your client, ask yourself these 3 questions. How much value do I bring to my client? How much value do I bring to my client? Really understand that, really know that really well, okay? And now ask yourself, what is it worth to them? what is it really worth to my client, what I'm actually doing? Is it my monetary value, right? Am I bringing them more money? Okay, perfect. You want to go ahead and detail. Okay, when I was working with plastic surgeons, I was like, okay, we were able to get them 5 new procedures this month. Each those 5 procedures were, $5,000 a pop. So we brought you an extra $25,000 in just surgical procedures. Plus, we brought you an extra $10,000 in Botox and med spa services. So I would know those numbers. You have to know how much your client charges, how much one client is worth to your client, so you can go ahead and determine how much you can really charge your client. Now, when you actually pick the niche, you already know, okay, those type of numbers, so you can say and have a one set price of $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 per month per client. Now, and one last question to really ask yourself is, okay, what do you actually want to charge your client? How much money do you actually want to make, and how many clients do you want to work with? Do you want to go ahead and grow this agency to 20 to 30 clients, or do you want to have maybe 5 to 10 clients and charge them, higher prices? What is it that you want, and how much do you actually want to charge your clients so you can go ahead and be fulfilled and be happy as well? Now, step number 5 is how to actually find your ideal client. Now, before you find your ideal client, you have to know who your ideal client is. So for example, I'm going to give you an example for e-commerce clients, right? If you're working with e-commerce client, you can go ahead and copy this perfectly fine. Now, if you're working with real estate agents, ask yourself the same type of questions and have some certain type of criteria for your ideal client. You want to make sure that you work with a client that really brings you the most value to your life and to your business. So in my case, I don't work with any brands that have any less than 10,000 followers on Instagram. So they must have 10,000 followers. The IG content must look good. The website must also look good and clean. The Facebook pixel must be installed, must be running ads, and the branding and packaging must look professional. And the reason why I have that criteria for my ideal client is because I don't want to work with any clients that don't have that in place, because I know I'm going to have to put in work on their branding. I know I'm going to have to put in work on their content. I know I'm going to have to put in work on the website. And if I'm driving ads, if I'm driving traffic to the website and it doesn't look and it doesn't convert, then it's not going to go ahead and work out too well. The conversion rate is going to be low. If they don't have a Facebook pixel installed, I'm going to have to create the audiences from scratch, and I don't have time for that. I want to make sure I work with easy win clients. I want to work with easy win clients so I can bring them good results and be able to keep growing my agency. Now, how do you actually find your ideal client? Okay, perfect. Well, it's simple, guys. Google search. You can literally search real estate agents near me, right? If you're working with real estate agents, go to Zillow, and go real estate agents near me, right? Or just go to Google, real estate agents near me, and then you're gonna go to Zillow, and then there's gonna be a whole bunch of real estate agents near you that you can go ahead and go work with. Now, if you're working with e-commerce, you can go ahead and find e-commerce clients on Instagram, the shop section. The second way to really find clients on Instagram is when you actually find your ideal client, just click that down arrow and go to recommended. It's gonna give you another 20 ideal prospects for your business. Now, another way is through the Facebook ad library. If they're running ads, they probably want your services, especially if they're not doing it correctly. Now, another way is called myip.ms, especially for e-commerce stores. Myip.ms will be really, really good for e-commerce stores. So what is the best outreach method to actually reach your ideal client? There's so many ways to reach your ideal client, but whatever method you actually pick, I want you to stick with it for at least 90 days and repeat it over and over and over and over for 90 days, because nothing comes easy. You have to make sure you're being consistent and persistent with your outreach. No matter what you pick, if it's Instagram DMs, DM every day, 25 a day, at least 25 a day, every day for 90 days, obviously exclude the weekends. Do it Monday to Friday, every day for 90 days. Make sure you're consistent, and then after that, you can go ahead and dictate if you want to continue with it, if you don't want to continue with it, depending on how much results you actually saw. So some of the outreach method that you can actually go ahead and use is really cold email, cold Looms, which is one of my favorite ones, cold calling, IG and Facebook DMs, Loom outreach. I put Loom twice. But when you want to go ahead and do Loom outreach, you can do two different, cold Loom or retargeting Loom outreach as well. So that means that you send cold emails, and if they open the emails, then you can go ahead and send them a Loom outreach but that's more of a retargeting loom, which is really, really good. And one of my favorite ones is actually building a personal brand. This is something I'm going to be working on for the rest of this year, and this is something I'm going to be really working on for, especially for 2022. I want to build a strong personal brand within my sub niche of e-commerce, so I can go ahead and get clients coming to me instead of me chasing clients all of the time. Now, I will be making more videos about how to really build this personal brand as I start to figure it out myself. Y'all go ahead and be sharing that journey with you guys. Now, point number 6 is really how to sell your services. So you want to go ahead and follow a system like this, right? Step 1, really build rapport. Make sure all the decision makers are present. You do not want to go ahead and continue a sales call if the decision makers are not there. And the reason why is because if you talk to the marketer or the content creator, he's going to have to get to the CMO and then to the marketer and then to the owner and then the co-founder and all that stuff. So you want to make sure all of the decision makers are there so you can really get to their goals specifically and their wants. Because their goals and their wants of the owner, of the business owner, is going to be completely different than the marketer. So you want to make sure you're talking to the owner directly and have all the decision makers present. Step number 2 is really ask for more. You want to gather your customers' specific goals and their desires, what their challenges are, and you want to make this gap even bigger, right? So if they tell you, hey, yeah, no, my goal is to get to $100,000 per month, you want to go ahead and ask a question like, okay, although that's fantastic, that's a really good goal to have, but what could you handle? And make that gap even bigger from where they are now to where they want to be and where they could be. That's called gap selling, and that works tremendously for marketing agencies. So you want to make sure you exaggerate, you make the gap bigger to where they want to be and where they could be as well. Now, number 3 is repeat. You want to go ahead and repeat them back and say, hey, so this is, are you sure you want to go ahead and achieve this? Are you sure you want this? Repeat those goals back to them so you can go ahead and start number 4 and present how your solution can go ahead and help them get to that goal that they want. So obviously you have the solution and you want to go ahead and show them, hey, I can go ahead and help you achieve that goal. I can go ahead and help you solve every challenge that you have with this one service. And step number 5, if you did everything correctly, you can ask for the sale and actually get paid. This is one of the easiest systems to go ahead and follow. Guys, when you go ahead and talk about selling and sales, you want to just have a conversation. Really just talk to them directly. They're another human in the other end. They're not any a big special person, right? They're just a human where you have a solution to their problems. And the moment that you look at sales that way, you're literally providing a solution to their problem. They need you more than you need them, right? Remember that always. And step number 7 is servicing your clients. Guys, so there's going to be 2 main ways to really servicing your clients. Either you do it all yourself or you actually hire a team member. The advantages of doing it yourself, right? You get all the money to yourself. You get the money for you. So you can work with 5 to 6 clients, 5 to 7 clients probably, and do it all yourself. But you want to make sure that you don't stop the outreach, right? Another advantage that you have all control over the results, which is a good thing and a bad thing. So that means if you're not getting any results, that's your fault. And number 4, and the last one is you need to learn and perfect your services. If you're just starting out, you probably don't have a high income skill set. If you've been a freelancer for a long time and now you want to start an agency, then this is perfect opportunity to hire a team member, because if not, you're going to have to learn and perfect your service yourself. So, advantages of really hiring a team member. What are they, right? You can focus on client outreach and sales. This is what you should be doing at all times. Focusing on client outreach and sales until you hire a VA to do that for you. But that's only after you actually perfected your sales system. Number 2 is really you have a team that is probably better than you at delivering results, right? If you hire a media buyer, they're most likely going to be better at delivering the results than you are. So you want to make sure that you bring in a good media buyer that actually knows how to deliver these results. And the last one is, yeah, you do have to pay them a percentage of the client to them, but if you pay them anywhere from 20 to 30% of your client worth, then that's not really going to hurt you. You're still going to have really big profit margins at the end of the day. So it's really worth it to go ahead and hire a team member, especially when you're just first starting out. So guys, that completes this video for today. Make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a like. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. And let me know if you actually found this video helpful. This is probably one of the longest videos in my channel. It took me quite some time to put this together for you guys, but I really wanted to go ahead and share with you guys because I know how frustrating it is to not have the money to be able to really start a marketing agency and actually learn how to actually do it. So what I wanted to do is really break down every single step for you guys so you guys have a clear path to success when it came to your marketing agency. So make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a like, comment down below what you guys thought about it, and other than that, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.